Hello everyone, I'm the Nerdy Fool and welcome back to Potionomics. We've got increased value for tolerance potions. We also have increased value for cures because of a Potionomics, a holiday based around gift-giving, petty thievery, and sacrificial offerings. But it also gives us an increase in customers and how customers have sympathy. So that's going to pay off pretty well for us. Crater still has better drops, but we aren't really going there because that's the last set of areas. And then a few of our different ingredients are costing more today. Overall, probably want to keep making tolerance potions, of course, but maybe also some cures. And we're going to have a pretty good sale today. With that out of the way, let's get to our gardening. There we go. Anything I want to make? Could use more of these. We're a little low. Kind of all of these. You're not that low, actually. But I could go for making more of those. More of those. Anything else before we start getting into the really tiny territory? Really tiny being Magiman wise. You know, things like 88 Magiman that are so tiny. Right, these. I used way too many of these lately. I'm actually gonna make 2 sets of them, and we'll call that good. There we go. And I think the plan is going to be to buy 3 more cauldrons when we head out today, just so I can have all 6 of my cauldrons be the best cauldrons. Not that it's a great use of money when there's only 6 days left of the game, I assume, unless something shows up after day 50. But still, I've got the money, and better cauldrons are better cauldrons. Alright, we got a couple of these tolerance potions that are going to sell really well. Thunder Tonic. Shadow Tonic. Not quite a 5-star. And yeah, I'm probably not going to bother sending my adventurers out again. Let's be fair. I've probably found most of the ingredients I'm going to find in this region. So if I'm not brewing for the sake of my adventurers... Although part of me still thinks that I should focus on these, trying to get the 5-star, 5-trait. We couldn't do it yesterday when I intended because we had already bought the rank up from, or the enhancement from Roxanne, so we couldn't see what actually was giving us bonuses. So maybe we do. So if we go radiation, which we know is yellow and purple, and if I say, okay, I want the first trait only, we have... Oh, sort by Magimans, of course. I definitely don't want anything with a negative, but preferably things with multiple positives. Sadly, that's not a thing. So we'll grab you. We don't have anything that gives the second trait in yellow and purple. You give 3 and 4. So sure, I'll take one of those. And then we also have nothing of 5. So we want 2 and 5. Is there a single ingredient? Preferably small. That's not bad. Okay. We're going to toss in one of you. which is sadly a bunch of red, but in the scale of 2,000 Magimans, that 16 red is not going to be a big deal. Oh, you've got a negative. Right. So we've got 3, 4, 2, and 5. So yeah, I just need a positive. For the first item. There. No, no, no. What am I doing? Get that back. I want to look at them. So we've got, just to make sure I'm not messing this up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yes. Alright, now sorted by Magimans without any focus. They're not huge by getting rid of all of the things that give negatives. So we're probably not going to actually get up to that 2,000, but we do get 14 ingredients. And we need a bunch of purple there. Now, see, as it is, we are going to be masterwork, but it's going to be basically a 1-star masterwork. Huh. Is there just no way to actually pull off a 5-star? Alright. Let's be less picky. If I don't want to have just nothing, what if I am willing to be choosing things that are high in Magimans that have the traits I want, as long as they're mostly the Magimans I care about? This will take a lot longer to find. I mean, you're still the best of the ones I want there. That's primarily yellow. Okay, and it's also a lot of Magimans. And that's what matters. You're even all the way across with a lot of Magimans. I mean, ultimately, if I get my Magiman count up high enough, it doesn't matter if I'm not mostly stable. As long as I'm not extremely unstable, I think. So that actually gives me 2 and 3. So if I can find a decent 4, I don't need this one. That's also a 4. It's a lot less Magimans, though, which is bothersome, but it's the colors I need, which is good. So that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5. No, none of you are that good. That's way too much green, that's way too much red. And you're pretty small. Alright, now if we don't care about bad things, then I can toss in things like this that are mainly yellow and purple. Too much blue. You're also a decent amount of yellow and purple, but we're still adding too much red. You're kind of the same thing, but just smaller. Ooh, I didn't realize we are way above where we need to be on Magimans, actually. Okay. That gets us to the 1200. That's maxed out. So I can just use all of the rest of our ingredients just to try and pull up the Magiman colors we need at this point. So now the goal is to just make sure I'm not adding any more red, really. This is definitely a much harder way of doing potions because I can't just shut off the colors I don't want. Because I am being willing to take ingredients that I don't need. I'll go with some of these. No, is that not actually helping? I was thinking because we don't have much blue, then it would help, but it seems like that's actually making us worse because it was unstable there. So no, I think I actually do need to go specifically with only yellow and purple now. And preferably a bit more purple than yellow. See, that's my problem now, is that we've reached unstable, which means we might lose a star. And I don't know if the fact that I'm well over the Magimans, which means the bar's like way out here, if losing a star means it'll be here and it's still 5-star, or if it's going to count this as a 5-star and therefore potentially down to a 4-star. Don't know. Drop some of this. Maybe. My thought is I'm over 200 above, so I can drop one of these that's really killing me. Problem is, I need those traits. I could drop you, but I don't think you're going to significantly affect things. Yeah, see? I'm losing some of the red, but it's not enough to bring us into stable. Now that I've wasted a ton of time, I think I'm going to give up on that. Maybe we'll get new ingredients. Let's look at the Curse Cure and the Seeking. If they have multiple Magimans, which they do, our chances of pulling this off is a lot better. So we'll go this route. So you for our first ingredient. We're gonna need to go outside the box for that trait. Shame. Yellow, blue, and purple. You're primarily yellow. It's way too much green. You're not bad. I guess that's really what I should do, is just grab one of these tiny ones. We can get enough measurements in other ways, probably. That'll be 3 and 4. And lastly, 5. We don't have. With that, I don't need you anymore. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we actually have large enough items that I can actually make a quality potion. We need primarily blue. Let's even out purple a bit, if possible. If possible. Wow, I have no good purple sources. All the way down to the lobster here. And then more blue. Oh, you're not bad. Too bad I only have 2 of you left. But there we go. We're getting into very stable territory with all the traits we need. That's what I like to see. And we are masterwork. If I can get a couple more stars. There we go. It's a 5-star, has the traits, very stable. That's what I want to see. Now I need to knock off 21, which is 3 7s. Although I don't think 7 is a thing. We have 8s. Yeah, 7's not a thing, so 8, 8, 5. So this will be our competition brew. And then for the curse cure, spent way too long trying to figure out the perfect way of doing this. Green, yellow, and purple. There we go. Oh, you give 1 and 2. That'll work for me. You give 3 and 4. So then for 5, you give 4 and 5. Okay. Spread these out just so... Come on, come back. Hang on. It was what? It was a crystal-looking thing, I thought. Okay, which trait do I need? We've got 1, 2, 4, and 5. I need trait 3. Where were you? It was you, but I don't need you anymore because I'm getting 4 there. So we can just go up to that. Excellent. Now, primarily purple. Right now we need more yellow. And more purple. Too much purple now. Problem is, these are pretty small ingredients. Yeah, that's all 14 now. I assumed that if we were dealing with 3 ingredients at a time, we'd almost certainly get large Magiman items, and we just didn't. Mm-hmm. And do we get a bit crazy with it again? Because I could grab like one each of those, because they're big, and that one's primarily green and that one's primarily yellow, which are both colors I need. So hopefully the tiny bits of red and blue aren't going to kill us. And then I need mainly purple. I think I'm doing the exact same thing I did before that we saw did not work. Trying to mix things up with a base that has way too much of the wrong ingredients. There just aren't a lot of good purple items that don't have negative traits. Well, there we go. We've got 5 stars, it is stable, so we aren't going to lose any stars, and we have all the traits. That is a competition potion. That is way more challenging than I thought it would be. But now we need to lose 14, which is a 554. I'm gonna hold off on trying to get the radiation one again. So with that in mind, what do we want to sell today? Oh, let's... It's really weird to me that when I turn off those, it still is using the filters to determine what potions I can see. So, tolerance potions, which is our big sale at the moment. Oh, I've got 19 of them. Huh. I probably don't need to make more. And with that in mind, we could focus on the cures to potentially sell some cures. We could do more curse cures without focusing on the traits, just to get something big. Green, yellow, purple. I don't know if I necessarily want to go through all of those that I have left. It's looking pretty good. Okay, we've maxed out all of that, so let's just use some things that I've got lots of. There we go. Nice and simple. Stable, masterwork, 5-star, excellent. We have to lose 14. Then we'll go silence, just to mix it up a bit. Green, yellow, purple, I think is what we already have, but just a different focus now on green. Oh, right, forgot this is a tiny cauldron. Oh, man. What's a good green source? You. And I've got lots of you. There we go. I'll call that good enough. 11 is 443. Petrification. I don't know, I like to not just make a bunch of a single potion, because that gets boring. Mainly yellow. Okay. More red and yellow now. That's probably too much. I'm trying to focus on ingredients that I have way too much of. That's not bad, actually. Oh, too much. Actually, I probably should have dropped something that's giving me too much purple instead. There. About 200 more and 5 more ingredients. We need to drop down to much smaller things. Maybe not quite this far down, but that's fine. Okay, one more ingredient, 70 magimins. What can I do? Preferably a bit of a split. Red and yellow? Sure. Very stable. Masterwork petrification. Might end up a 5-star. I'm happy with that. And lastly, let's go with drowsiness, just to keep mixing it up. Red, green, blue. We want mainly blue. We'll go with something like that for our large Magimin base. But then we want mostly blue. What do you got for me? You're not bad. That. We'll get our blue up quickly. There we go. A little less than 73 ingredients. That's going to be like 25-ish, a bit less. So now we're at like, yeah, still about 25-ish of green. Yeah, that'll work. Very stable. Good. That was terribly mathed out. That is still terribly mathed out. What am I doing wrong? You. There we go. Man. And we have some of these barrels I could use. Might end up selling those today. Probably not going to sell you. Age those and age interesting that this is a 5-star masterwork Thunder Tonic. It's worth 2200. This is a 4-star alertness with a negative trait and a positive trait worth 2400. I guess that goes to what I said early on, that enhancers are worth more than tonics. Okay, that's all of our brewing done. That took way more time than I was expecting. I think friends-wise, we've maxed out with Quinn, Muktuk, and Saffron, as I recall. I should read their stories. Quinn has shrugged off disappointment and let love into their life, opening their heart to Sylvia at last. Buoyed by Sylvia's loving support, Muktuk has renewed his commitment to creating art that's as useful as it is beautiful. Saffron has stopped denying her trauma, and emboldened by her feelings for Sylvia, has begun the process of healing old wounds. I think today we will rank up with our 3 adventurers. Usually a fun time. Just thinking, do I need to do anything else? I don't think so. The quest was a success. Here are the spoils. Excellent. A new mana item. I don't think I've got that one. The others I'm pretty sure I do. Let's pointlessly give you another gift. Yeah, that is a new item. Sweet. We have all of those. 'Twas a pleasure. I made it all the way to the end. I couldn't have done it without you. More of those. Good. You might be new, but we don't need it. The rest we definitely have. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's much point in ranking up with or sending out our adventurers anymore. Because there's not much more to find. Alright, Mint, let's rank you to level 10. You don't even have to ask.
So, I owe you an apology. And thank you.
Oh.
Basically, I should probably throw a whole parade in your honor at this point.
Yeah? Is this because of the 2... I think we gave her speed potions.
You mean because of the speed potions? It was nothing. I just wanted to provide you with an edge out there. An edge that was handcrafted with love, just for you.
They were, I think, 5-star masterwork speed potions, so pretty big edge.
No legendary weapons required, and no thanks necessary. As for the apology, what would you even be sorry about?
All the wallowing. Self-pity's not a good look on an aspiring hero.
It's fine.
Well, I can agree. In the case of an aspiring hero who's accomplished as much as you have.
Thanks, but I don't know if I've accomplished all that much yet.
Sure you have. Think about it. In your quest for an artifact, you forged ahead where other heroes feared to tread.
True.
You vanquished monsters, confronted dragons, solved riddles, navigated mazes, and scaled mountains.
Also all true.
And I have it on good authority that you did all this while saving a lot of pirates from a lot of trees.
Also true.
Sylvia, I think you're determined to make me blush so hard my head bursts into flames.
That would be a problem, so preferably no flames.
Can we sneak out of here? I don't want any witnesses around when I combust.
Weather's pleasant down by the water, and children frolic in the surf. But it's obvious to Sylvia that Mint's eyes are drawn to the Kraken skull sitting ominously in the shallows.
Good view of the Kraken skull from here.
Yeah, as trophies go, it's hard to beat. Heroes are always comparing trophies, you know? We all want tangible proof of what we've accomplished.
Makes sense.
That was sort of my whole thing with wanting a legendary weapon. I wanted something I could point to and say, see, I'm worthy.
Yeah, but you can prove your worthiness without needing a legendary weapon, and just because someone has a legendary weapon doesn't mean that they're a worthy hero.
I'm surrounded by people I idolize, Sylvia. The imposter syndrome is real.
You might not have found your weapon, but you proved yourself worthy along the way.
Right now, hearing you say that, I believe it. But Will I believe it tomorrow? Will I believe it the next time a monster gets the drop on me? Or I trigger a trap? Or I oversleep?
Well, we can keep saying it to you.
Believing in yourself is hard. It takes work. Daily, active work.
Funny. It's easy for me to believe in you. It's about the easiest thing in the world.
That's sweet.
Ah, Sylvia. I don't know what I ever did to deserve a girlfriend like you. But in this case, I'm not gonna waste time questioning if I'm worthy. I'm just going to thank my lucky stars that we found each other. And I'm going to make sure to show you how I feel every single day.
So, show me, hero. Or are you afraid?
When you're around, Sylvia, I'm fearless.
You've learned something new, Fortitude. Apply Fortitude for 2 turns. Negate stress received from all sources. Ooh. Interesting. So it's just a guaranteed you cannot gain stress. I'll have to check out what shield items I have in my deck. Because we don't usually haggle for much more than 2 turns. Reach the max relationship with Mint. It's another storyline that I'm surprised by because, again, I think the typical storyline would be you see Mint working towards getting a magical weapon, and that means like rank 10 she's gonna find it. But she doesn't. It's just her coming to terms with the fact that she doesn't have a magic weapon, and she doesn't feel like a huge, big hero, but that's okay. Because she's learning to cope with it and getting more comfortable in her own skin. Yeah, just the storylines here surprised me. They're not going with the obvious story arcs that you would expect. Be safe out there. You too, Mint. I mean, you're the one going into danger. Castle was spooky, but something. Nothing new. I've got a gift for you. Wow, we really are in perfect sync. I keep wanting to click adventure. I'm not doing that. Let's rank you up. I'd love to catch up.
Sylvia, do I have a rave review for you?
Yeah?
Those potions you gave me were everything. Like a cure for stage fright, writer's block, and the blues all at once.
Glad I could help.
I'm glad you're feeling a little better.
More than a little. To be honest, I'm feeling inspired all over again. And not a minute too soon. I was way too quick to give up on writing. That's obvious to me now. Between the faith you've shown in me and an interaction I just had with a few new fans.
Fans of Sid or Sidriel? Have they figured out who you are?
Did they ask for your autograph? Although, you must be kind of used to that by now.
Yeah.
It's true. I've signed a lot of autographs in my day. And the longer I'm in Rafta, the more people figure out that Sid and Sidriel are one and the same.
It's not... Again, I wish we could see how visually different you are. Because you say your clothing and style is completely different, but the names are not that far apart.
So when I got to my busking corner earlier, and a small group of people had gathered around, I assumed they'd figured it out. That they were there to see international pop star Sidriel. But they were there to see me. The real me.
That's nice.
Sid. The humble bard. With the song about an everyday hero. I guess one of them had been in the audience the night I debuted my new song. It made such an impression on her, she brought her friends along to see me play.
Nice.
Sid, that's awesome.
Yeah, it felt pretty awesome, to be honest. They didn't ask me to play the crowd pleasers, they didn't request the hits. They didn't even ask for my autograph. They were there for my music.
And interesting, they wanted the song that you wrote rather than the other song that your manager sent you that you said was super popular and everyone preferred?
When the performance was over, they promised to come back for more.
That's nice.
I'm not surprised. You're so talented, Sid.
Very true.
Thanks. But we both know I'm taking a risk here. It's scary, making big changes at this stage in my career.
But change is also necessary. If you just did the same thing forever, it would get bland. I mean, maybe not, since if your managers are just having writers write new songs, if the new songs are always new and popular, maybe you can get by with that being the change of just adding new songs to your repertoire. I don't know. Feels like for most people, though, some amount of change is necessary, otherwise things get stale.
I've been so afraid of taking the wrong step that I basically stopped moving altogether.
Yeah.
Talking to those people, playing my music for them on the side of the road, it was exactly what I needed. It was a reminder that I should be brave enough to follow my instincts. A lot of people won't get what I'm trying to do, and that's okay, because the ones who do, they're the ones I'm writing for, Sylvia. The people who need to see themselves reflected in art.
Yeah. And that's not to say you can't play the crowd pleasers as well. But singing the songs of the people, as you're saying, it's going to reach out to a different audience than if you just sang all the ones that are designed to be popular.
The bard of the common folk, huh? I like that.
Yeah.
I like it too. Quite a bit.
I still don't know what's going to happen when you finally end this break and go back to being Sidriel. Is your manager going to be okay with you being more of a bard of the people?
Say, you want to get out of here? Let's stretch our legs.
So how's it feel being a singer-songwriter?
Well, it feels pretty great at the moment. I've still got a lot of work ahead of me, though.
You're off to a good start.
Thanks. Although I can't take all the credit for that. And I have a confession to make.
Ooh, a confession.
Syl, the subject of my ballad, it's you.
Yeah?
What? Really?
I thought you might have guessed by now. I mean, when I asked you who I should write about, you suggested an underdog. And you're the scrappiest underdog I know. Here, I'll sing you a few bars.
Okay.
The odds were against her, yeah, right from the start. She had next to nothing, just love for her art. She had no great powers, just her natural charm. The patrons were dazzled, curmudgeons disarmed. Fear, though, would find her, it gnawed at her will. She doubted her prowess, she doubted her skill. She had allies, she wasn't alone. An animal helper, nested in her home. The challenges came, but none found her lacking. She settled her debts, she sent rivals packing. And when the day came for one final bout, she banished her worry, she conquered her doubt. Her courage ablaze, her heart full of love. She faced every challenge, she rose above.
There's a little bit more, but you get the idea.
That was cool, because out of all the choices we were able to make for helping build the song of the underdog, the animal companion, ordinary person, like all of that was used in that song, which means I think there were 4 different times she let us choose, maybe 5. So did they write? I mean, obviously they're taking... It's not going to branch out into, hundreds of different, completely different songs, I assume. But like each of those like paragraph or two chunks were based on the choices we made, which means there's a whole bunch of different options for each of those sections to that song, depending on which options we chose. Unless I just happened to choose all the right choices. And she would have been like, no, I think Underdog would have sounded better if we'd chosen the other option. I don't know. Feels like a lot of work to write that many different musical lines. I don't know. That was really cool, though. I appreciate that.
Wow, Sid, I'm so flattered. You've really been paying attention, haven't you?
I told you before, Sil. You inspire me. I meant that literally.
We are her muse.
Listen, I'm surrounded by so-called heroes all day, every day, and a lot of them are genuinely heroic. But they're not exactly toiling away without recognition. Praise and glory are baked into the gig.
I mean, Mint feels unrecognized. So, probably, yeah, all the big-time heroes get all the praise and glory, but I bet all the newcomers are struggling.
And then I looked at you, at all you've accomplished in your short time here. And I thought, there's an unsung hero. There's someone who deserves some recognition. I'm not trying to embarrass you or anything. I just thought your story might inspire others the way it inspired me.
My situation has been so stressful. I'm not sure I ever thought of it as inspirational.
A real hero wouldn't, though, would they? I'm glad to be able to share the success with you, Sylvia. And what's more, I'm immensely proud to be your girl.
Thanks.
Some would say you have the best seats in the house. But hey, when do I get to hear the rest of the song?
I mean, probably we can swing by where she's performing.
Well, to be honest, I'm not sure it's totally finished. I mean, we don't know yet how your story ends.
Oh, I'm gonna destroy Robin. You can plan that into your song.
Wow, that's some pressure. I guess I'd better stick the landing.
I have faith in you. But whatever happens, I'll be right there with you. And I'll be singing your praises to the very end.
Well, why don't you come over here then? And I'll really give you something to sing about.
Encore. Increase patience by 4. Can only be played if patience is currently 1. Ooh, okay, that's harder to pull off. Because, at least from what we've seen, all of these cards, like the 10th rank cards we're getting, we only get 1 copy. So, the hope would be that in my 20 card deck, I happen to draw this one at just the right time to be able to play it when they're down to 1 patience. Otherwise, it's a wasted draw. Again, if I built my deck completely different to be a heavy draw focused deck, that would be more useful. I don't know. You reached the max relationship with Sid. Your eyes are gorgeous. So are yours. I came, I saw, I asserted my authority. Yeah, and you also didn't get any new ingredients. Yeah, I think we've found basically everything that can be found in that region. Well, let's give you one last gift before we max you out. Got a minute to catch up.
Thank you for the potion, Sylvia.
You're welcome.
Your instincts were right. They came in handy during the Heroes Happy Hour. Still not entirely sure why Baptiste called it that. It lasted several hours and I witnessed a full range of emotions.
There's a term called happy hour. Anyway, yep.
Okay, but was it fun?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay, that's what matters.
Also, no. My experience was complicated.
It's probably fair.
Well, it can't have gone as poorly as my senior prom did.
Ooh, details.
Unless someone summoned an eldritch horror on the dance floor.
More details needed.
Not that I noticed.
Then it sounds like a successful event to me.
Good to have that perspective, I suppose. My main trouble with the event, and it won't surprise you to hear this, I found small talk all but impossible.
You have struggled with it. You're good at talking about things you enjoy. Small talk you struggle with, and analogies you struggle with.
Oh, I could ask the trivial questions just fine. But listening to the trivial answers, my mind wouldn't sit still for that.
I get it.
I'm sorry, Sylvia, but I can't bring myself to care what a grown man's favorite color might be.
I mean, it's fair. It becomes easier to want to know the smaller details about people that you care more about. When it's just a stranger you're meeting at a bar, you aren't going to care about what their favorite color is.
And when people asked about me, well, I found I couldn't keep to trivialities.
You talked about three-legged coconuts, didn't you?
Or spew jays.
Coconuts, yes, and spiny-tailed avocados, and those berries that call you rude names. Also talked about how to fight them, and how to do it without wrecking the whole forest.
I mean, if you're in a heroes guild, you would think you would find common talking points if you're talking about various monsters and how to fight them. They may not be as focused on being eco-friendly as you are, but there's still gotta be mutual talking points.
I talked about things I care about, Sylvia. Things of interest to me.
Which is good. That's how you carry on a conversation.
I even talked a fair bit about you.
You better have. Don't make me wrestle coconuts for your attention.
That is a particular fantasy of mine, actually. Anyway, some people evidently took me for a real downer.
Disappointing.
They made excuses to step away, and they never found their way back to my vicinity.
But you don't need to be friends with everyone. Some people are going to dislike you. Like, if you're not very charismatic naturally, and you do want to primarily focus on the things that interest you, you got to find your people, the people that also like the things you like. And the fact that there's going to be other people who don't care about how to wrestle a coconut means that's fine. They can have their own friends, you'll have your friends, and you find a circle that you connect with.
A few scoffed at me when they thought they were out of earshot.
I'm sorry. I've been there, and it's hurtful.
But why focus on the ones who left? Because the ones who stayed, Sylvia,
Yep.
they stayed because they were genuinely interested in what I had to say. I've never been one to chase approval, but finding it feels good.
Yeah.
And it's not just approval, really. It's this sense that I belong here. This feeling of community.
Yeah. You just got to find your circle of people.
Sounds like the lone wolf found his pack.
You might be right. Some of us are even getting together next week to discuss sustainability measures the guild could adopt. Looking forward to that. Right now, though, it's just you and me. And I like that too.
Fair.
Come on, let's prowl.
I do like the way he talks. When he's not comparing me to a spew jay.
You're suddenly very quiet.
Well, just because a person isn't afraid to talk, doesn't mean he can't enjoy the silence.
I've never been a fan of silence. It makes me nervous.
And I've never been a fan of chatter for the sake of chatter. Saying that, it might sound like I'm grasping for superiority of some kind. It's not that I mean to set myself apart from people. I'm not trying to be distant or unfriendly. But the truth is my hesitation around social interactions. It's always been about one thing: fear.
Yeah.
I was afraid people wouldn't understand me. Afraid they wouldn't care about any of the things I cared about.
I'm glad you're getting past those fears.
I have you to thank for that. You never hesitated to join in on my hobbies. You never made me feel bad for rambling about my offbeat preoccupations.
We have joined in his hobbies, even some of the stranger ones. And even though oftentimes Sylvia didn't seem to care as much about the hobbies, she enjoyed being there to spend time with a friend.
You expressed interest in what I had to say, and that helped me see that others might be interested too. And I haven't forgotten that this whole hero turn was your idea. Even when I was antagonizing you, you were listening to me, hearing me even then.
Yep, we started out as rivals, briefly, till I demolished you in the competition.
I can't take all the credit. You've put a lot of effort into, well, making an effort. And you've done all that while staying true to who you are.
We can agree on that. Whatever changes I've made, I'm still that same odd duck. I'm just a less lonely version of who I was all along.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, because there's enough typical to go around.
You're not so typical yourself, really. Of all the many marvels on this island, you're the most extraordinary creature I've come across. We're very different people, Sylvia. I suspect we always will be.
Yes.
But there's a common ground between us. A trail that you blazed with your wit, your compassion, and your fearlessness. If I'm ever silent in your presence, it's most likely because I'm struck dumb with awe.
Wow, I don't even know what to say right now.
Then don't say anything, my coconut. Let's just be here, in this moment, alone together.
Wow, he is tall. I don't know that I realized that. Lessons from nature. Draw a card, gain interest, or raise interest by 10 and gain 3 shield. It's a decent card. It's probably one I would put in my deck. He reached the max relationship with Corsac. Okay, so that's our 3 rank ups for the day. Let's finish off visiting all of our friends. Here's a gift that you don't need. And buying a treasure chest I don't need. No, there was nothing new there either. Yeah. Not terribly surprised. I don't think any traits have any sort of focus today. No. So probably just buy one that boosts 3 different stats. Visual taste and sensation. Sure. That'll give you an edge. Probably a minor one, yes. Good luck, you'll need it. Alright, Luna. What do you have in the way of marketing? The only level 5 is petrification. I can work with that. Write it down as always before I forget it. Sweet. And moving on to saffron. I think I was starting to get a little low on my 4 tier fuels, right? No, I guess not. No, it's the 5s I'm running low on. Gotcha. We'll just fully restock. And by low, I mean, you know, less than 10. I'm also not super high on these either. Not that I use them very much, because we rarely need 6s. And I think I forgot to give you a gift, so let's take care of that. Even though we can't even rank you up at all, because you are maxed out. Although we could hang out. Because I think we're going to reach a point where we're going to have everyone maxed before the end of the competition. And so I might spend time hanging out, because we haven't done much of that. Alright, so let's buy, not the barrels, the cauldrons. Let's buy 3 more of these. Just because I have lots of money and they don't cost much. I could also buy 2 more of these barrels just so that I have the best. And you know what? Because I can, let's buy 1 more showcase. Just so we can max out all the things. Okay. We have nothing left to buy from you, Muktuk. Did I give you the gift already? I did. Lastly, Quinn. Yeah, only 1 new ingredient that we gained from all of our adventurers and Baptiste and the chest. I think that's a pretty good sign that there's really nothing else to find. Alright, well, I'm going to buy all of our ingredients, so I'll meet back with you guys in a little bit. Alright, and that is it. We've bought out Quinn's shop, so let's head back to our base and get back to gardening and brew. Glad we made a bunch more of those, because we were basically out. Let's see. You're a good source of blue. Oh, again, we can't see the traits. I was thinking about maybe trying for that radiation tonic again. No, we don't need much of any of these. Though I have obviously noticed that any that I start using too much all at once, we run out of pretty quick. That is how that works. We've got a decent amount of all of those. Could use more of this. And this. She'll toss you into purple, you into blue, and get another one from you. Can't make another one of you. You're purple, so that won't work. Just looking for anything I've got less than 20 of that I actually care about. You wouldn't be terrible to make a few more of. Well, you could have worked if I had gone in better orders. I can make more of you. There we are. Probably at some point I need to start making more of these, but we've still got a decent amount kicking around. So there is our 5-trait, 5-star Masterwork Seeking Enhancer. So we just need to now have this barreled up. And it's going to be awesome. Again, a 5-star, 5-trait, masterwork, curse cure. And the rest of this is basically garbage to sell. Garbage, you know, masterwork. Alright, with that all out of the way, let's do some customization. There. Then downstairs, swap out these 2 cauldrons. Now we have these amazing cauldrons that are nearly the best cauldrons in the entire game. And they're just going to sit around collecting dust. I guess actually we need to go upstairs because I've got a show shelf to also swap out. Not a normal shelf, a show shelf. There we go. Excellent. I mean, arguably I could get 3 more of these that I super wouldn't need just to have our shop fully maxed out. It's a thing, I suppose. So while I'm thinking about it, let's go to the barrels. And this is the Empyrean super awesome barrels, yeah? Yeah. So we want our 5-trait 5-star. Can't see that it's 5-trait, but I remember it was. Same with you. This was the bad one, yeah. So we'll toss 5 of you in there. And then go to the other barrel and toss in 5 of you. Excellent. So those are as good as those potions can possibly get. Now it's the petrification cure is what's going to be good tomorrow. Red, yellow, purple. With a focus on yellow. Probably want something that's more yellow now. And then a bit more red and purple. Ooh, this could be okay. I've maxed out the Magimans in this cauldron. Oh dear. It's been a while since we've done that. So I can actually put in 76 more with this last ingredient. I kind of just assumed 2000 was basically infinite. And it turns out it's not. Do we have anything that's actually 76? No. Alright. Very stable. Nearly maxed out. Excellent. We need to drop 12. Well, I can figure that one out. Probably the same general idea. And then it was you. Something like that. I don't know if that's exactly the same, but it's basically the same. We are starting to get low on these, so I probably don't want to just keep digging into that. We could use you. You're basically the same, just a slightly lesser form. Bit farther away from the 2000, but we don't actually need to get 2000 because 1200 is the max that actually matters. So that'll be our 3 petrification sets. So 21 petrification potions to sell for tomorrow. Bit crazy. What else? I mean, that's all that matters now, unfortunately. If I'm not sending out my adventurers, then all that matters is just selling. So whatever sells best. Or, you know, continuing to fill in the Pokedex. So a common curse, or common shadow, which is green and purple. There we go. Green and purple. Going for tiny ingredients. Green and purple. I guess I don't need to go crazy because we do want it to actually get up to common. So if I have a 30-ish green. There. That'll be common. Perfect balance. With the minors, we need to intentionally not go too high so that we don't get the bonuses to bump us over to common. But in this case, it's fine. And then 3 hay. Excellent. That's all of you done. Now we have radiation. So let's go with greater and common for our last 2 cauldrons. Yellow and purple. I guess probably that's more sensible. So there's common. Need to drop 5. There. And now for greater, we actually need to use some better ingredients. How much better? I don't know. There we go. That's going to end up greater. And drop 5 again. Probably need to buy more wood and hay at this rate. There we go. Now, with our deck, did I want fortitude? What do we have? So sympathy is one of our shield cards. But sympathy as the buff is also nice. Strike or Strike Later is a decent card that also gives us a chance for shield. Confident or Reinforced. I really like these choice ones. Compromise, Blitz, Pander. Reinforce is just a shielding option. So Fortitude would probably be better. Let's drop a reinforce and toss in the fortitude. Now, lessons from nature. Draw a card, raise interest, and gain 3 shield. Let's drop the reinforce for that. And then do I care about Encore? Increase patience by 4 only if they're at 1. No, I think that's too situational. Okay, so today's... Is it the curse cures that... No, it's tolerance potions, but also increased value for cures. That's why... I'm like sorting by value, and I'm like, why am I not seeing the tolerance potions? It's because they're all stacked here, but all the other cures are more valuable. Okay. So that's one of my 5 stars, but it's not one of the ones that's currently brewing, and I'm not gonna... Or... barreling? It's not one of the ones I'm planning to, take to the competition. So it's fine to sell it. I'll leave it around. Just in case. Let's put one of the petrifications there, just to draw in customers. Because it was a single one, so I don't really want to use it in Bendy. Because using large stacks are better. The petrification I could save for tomorrow, and I think I actually will. Because even though we've got a boost to the cures right now, I'm betting the 5 rank marketing that we've got for tomorrow is going to be worth even more. So probably we aren't going to sell petrifications right now. 19 of those. That's a bit excessive. I think that's pretty good. We could haggle for these that are worth 10,000 apiece. Nearly. Your hours are a little erratic. I open at the same time every day. It is late at night, which is a little weird. I have an idea that could benefit us both. I had something special in mind. You want a whodunit. There's a serial poisoner on the loose and a hefty reward for their capture. Who will put an end to this toxic revenger? I will accept it, but I'm probably not going to do it because any 2 potions I have to craft worth 5,000 is just not worth my time. Sorry. Go to a slightly less accomplished potion maker. I need to know more about this potion before I can make a decision. Okay. We could blitz our way through. You are going to complain to stress me out, so I probably want reinforced, actually. Just so I take a little bit less. The blitz will probably still get through a heart, because I'm guessing your first rank is probably about like 3 hearts or 3 interest to go up. Man, Confident could do so much though. But no, we'll go reinforced just so I don't get stressed out. Blitz did actually just barely get you the first heart, and we'll compromise for the next heart. And end turn. The tint is off by a shade. It is a perfect potion. Nearly. I don't know what you could possibly complain about. We don't need the shield. But there's no penalty in drawing a card with this hand. So let's start with So you're going to raise interest by 10. I could raise interest by 11 more. Doubt that's going to get me all the way up. Or I could compromise and then do those afterwards. Which I think I will do. Let's get a sympathy going. Raise interest and draw a card, because the card could be something useful. It was not. Well, strike will cross you over the threshold to max this out, so I will do it. So I'll take that 12,000 gold for that potion, sir. Ha! Just as I'd intended. No one believes me, but I saw a dragon yesterday. This looks pretty great if the price is right. The price is fantastic. Don't need that, but I'm gonna have to play it in order to get deep connection. So we'll start out with confident, just so it's available next turn. And then deep connection, just to raise your patience up. Schnooples can't... I didn't read all that. Okay, we've got a compromise. And a closer with a double blitz. Okay. Sadly, I can't do the blitzes until I've played one of these cards, so we will start with the compromise. And then a blitz. And another blitz. Raise interest to the next level, which will finish you off. 13,000 for that potion. I can't wait to try it. I would be so... The idea of drinking something worth 13,000 gold as a one-time potion. It's crazy. Your display looks so nice today. This one looks nice. What are you asking for it? Let's go with... Okay. Though if I went with confident, these would hit really hard. But then I get a bunch of stress. I'm gonna do it. Confident into a strike. I could shield, actually. Gain the 5 shield, and then blitz still hits really hard. But I'd lose out on 19 interest. I'll take it and be upset later. That's future me's problem. I donate my leftovers to the needy, so perhaps you'd cut me a deal. Okay. We could go sympathy into a blitz and then look into maybe... I don't need reinforced or confident at the moment because we already have confident. I could potentially go for reinforced, but I might just close the deal. So we'll go sympathy into the blitz. And license from nature to see where that puts us. Ooh, we did get a closer. Okay. Which will max you out. So I will take your 13,000 gold. You're the best. Thanks, come again. Hey, Daredevil, planning your next caper? Can we get a discount or what? No. Tension, shame. That is so much stress. Huh. Alright. Let's gain shield, draw a card, and raise some interest. I think I'm gonna have to just close the sale this turn. Because tension with 7 coming in, that shield is not enough. I could reinforce to sort of offset the tension. Wait. Why did I think tension? Oh, tension here. I was like, where did the tension come from? I don't see here. Yeah. Reinforced could sort of offset tension, but it still means we'd be getting 7. I guess that's the thing. I could... If I did reinforced, then I would only take 4 more, which would push me over 10, which is a shame. Nah, I think I'll just close the deal. It's already going to pay me a fortune. Stress is terrible. So let's go with confident to bump that up and then close out. So now you're worth 26 and charmed. It means that when I close it out, it's worth even more. Oh, you're 1 point away from another heart. I hate that. But I'm going to close the deal. No refunds. Quarter mastery. Have a nice day. That's a nice cauldron. I guess business is good. But business is amazing. I need to know more about this potion before I can make a decision. Alright. Let's start out by drawing a card. Yeah, I don't have any way to get through your shield besides just blasting through it. Now we can do confident for Pander and Blitz. I'm probably going to do the same thing, where we close out so I don't take the 6. I could take the 6, though. We've got 3 shield. Raise interest by 42. Raise interest by 25. No, I think I'm just going to close the deal. You're nearly maxed out, and you only have 5 patients remaining. I can be happy with getting nearly 13,000 gold. No refunds. Ha, just as I'd intended. Take care.
That's all of them for now.
The snoring doesn't even bother me anymore. Gained a bunch of gold. Gained the potions we need for the competition. Technically only need 2 to win, since I've got 2 perfect potions. We win. But we're going to end the episode here. So thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time when we move on to day 45. See you all then. Bye.